Smite fans. We are back with Game 2 of Stellar Esports versus Armadillo Armada. I'm joined by Philly, ya boy, the cheese.
Greetings, friend.
And we are going to cast this game. We'll have a lot of fun. I enjoyed the first game. It was a little bit of a blowout. There was a close early game, but Stellar Esports really took control of this game. Interesting to see how these P's and B's go. Susano, none of that.
If I'm Armadillo Armada, I'm banning Terra right now.
Yeah, I have to think so, though. Bit of an inside scoop. Aggressive loves Fafnir. Loves Fafnir. I would not be surprised to see the Fafnir pick up. Oh, no, Ravana. Okay, I apologize. Ravana's a thing. I forgot.
So my question to you then, because I think you know Stellar Red a little bit more than I do. Does Jabber like the Ravana jungle?
They will flex it. They will flex it.
I figured as much. Most teams do now.
Most teams will flex it, so we're gonna see where that ends up going. I expect if they don't take Osiris and Bologna, we probably see the Bologna pickup, or they might decide to lead it. I'm not, don't really know. Puckham is also a pretty big fan of that Bologna. So Valve will play whatever. Seems he can just play just about anything. And Puckham is a pretty big god pool. Saw that Erlang Shen as well. So interesting what they go pick up here. I think that they should go with the Fafnir again. I don't think that was a problem. I don't think Soul played badly at all. And Fafnir is really strong right now.
I agree. And honestly, though, I would really kind of like Armadillo Armada to take Soul away, like, from Stellar, because I honestly don't see why Stellar wouldn't run Soul back.
Yeah. I think Cyrus will be good as well. Though it does give up Bologna Fafnir. Ravana, which is some crazy nuts front line. They're gonna go for Gab, and
Ooh,
I have to imagine this is Soul Fafnir immediately locked in. I would be surprised.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, maybe they go something like Soul Bologna, but I mean, this should be a salty, a quote unquote salty run back of the Soul. I think.
Yep.
Yeah, and they agree. They agree.
If you're not gonna take it, we'll play it again.
Yeah.
What if it's not broke? Don't fix it.
Yeah, and Zombie definitely showed up on that game, really outperforming Muratore on the Soul. I'm going to head and lock that in, see what they're going to pick for this next one. They do have some options, as we said. That there is the Bologna available, is the Fafnir available. Is still something like the Kepri still available, but we've seen that people can go really aggro into the Kepri, go Camazot's Thanatos, and just kind of really dive in and make his dreams a nightmare.
And plus, it's so easy just to CC Kepri and just kill him. Like he either ults or he does.
He's huge. He's the biggest. He's the biggest hitbox in the game.
Ooh.
Rama is the pickup. Not quite sure.
Locked.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why they're not going to go for support here. I guess that they have something in mind. Surprised that they're not going for the Fafnir.
Well, I mean, looking at it from this way, if I'm Stellar, if they know that I'm competent on the Fafnir, I might as well just let them take it away and play something that I want for my comp if they don't want me to play Fafnir. And if they don't take it, they don't take it. You know what I mean? It gives them an opportunity to waste a ban if they really feel like it's going to be a threat.
Yeah, and I doubt there's going to be any kind of Fafnir pickup, but Bologna could be banned away. I mean, they're not really worried about banning the Bologna. I mean, you can play either Osiris or Bologna in the jungle, but we have not seen Cal play either of those. Yeah. And it's just going to be they're going to go ahead and lock Stern in us. Really easy pickup, standard.
It's a nice solid duo lane coming out of Armadillo Armada, though. I'll give them that.
Yeah, the big worry is something can be picked up that is definitely going to out-clear them. Gab does have pretty much one of the weakest clears of any of the Guardians in the game at the current point in time, so definitely something that can be punished, but I expect them just to start Rad, and probably the other side will start Rad, and we'll just make duo boring, nothing special will happen.
And Stellar's just going to do what they did last game, and they're just going to take away these mid laners and just try and pressure Mike.
Yeah, definitely think so. There's the Isis taken away. Wouldn't at all be surprised to see Poseidon as well. Poseidon does match up really well with the Geb, and when you get the Gem of Isolation along with the Cyrus, you can get a lot of great slows in the middle of a team fight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so last ban coming out for Stellar. Interested to see what they end up going for here. Of course, having a lot of options. I'm not quite that familiar with what Moratori likes to play, but yeah, they're just gonna take a Poseidon. Yep. Easy peasy. Interested to see what they end up going for here. And I expect them to pick up the jungle and try to last pick a middle laner just in the sense to try to get him a position where he can actually get a pick he wants that he feels
Absolutely.
comfortable with into the enemy team's team comp, rather than just I mean, if they go for Nox again, my brain's gonna explode.
Yeah, I really would not like to see the Nox run back. I don't think it's going to be worth their time.
Yeah, that'd definitely be worrisome.
I mean, I could understand if Mike had an off game, but it just seemed like you had said, he was missing a lot of combos, and it's really tough to play a god if you're going to miss the core combo.
Casting, what's up?
Changa being locked for Armadillo Armada. Interesting pick.
Yeah, Chonga is gonna be picked up. We haven't seen this in a while. Talk to me about Philly about this pick.
I honestly, I don't know what they're feeling with this. I really don't. I don't know what to say about it. I haven't seen Changa in quite a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like she's both really good and really bad at the same time. The real thing that I think the reason why players seem to have walked away from her really slowly is she really lacks burst.
Absolutely. I mean, her main burst is her ultimate, and that is not super valuable when you have to ulti burst people down.
Yeah, I mean this really just is gonna strengthen the fact that you are gonna have Bacchus Ravana make it even harder for you to burst them down. I mean, unless they're pulling out some kind of crazy hyper jungler out of Cal, but I mean, he seems to enjoy playing these AP hunters and not really something or AP junglers, not really the Mercuries and the Collies.
And it's one of those things that, like, I honestly, if you want to pick a healer based mid laner, I would prefer to see Ra. I think Ra does more with his kit than Chang'e does. He has less CC, but I really just feel like Ra's so much safer.
Yeah,
Ooh, I
Thor
like the
is
Thor
going to
pick.
be the hover. I think it is quite a good pick as well, and they're gonna go ahead and put the Ravana back into the solo lane.
Really
Puck
good
him.
CC out of the front line for Stellar here. I like what they've drafted. Again, 2 drafts in a row, they've really kind of impressed me with what they're trying to do with their comps.
Yeah, the only real thing about this draft from Stellar is it does rely on the backline being these double hunters to be able to peel for themselves somewhat. Bacchus, not really that much of a peel support. Thor is a big diver, Ravana a big diver. So if they can create enough distance though, and they can stop any real opposite counterplay, Valve will go in and just get completely shredded. But Nemesis actually could definitely be a really good pick for Armadillo.
This is locked.
The big worry about the Nemesis, right, is she's quite good late game, but and she's just really much of an ult bot early, but she doesn't really provide that kind of guaranteed hyper carry burst that something like a Mercury does, right? You play Mercury, you ult into the middle of a fire giant pit, and actually something that most players don't know about a god like Mercury is when he comes out of the ultimate, the first auto attack, there's no animation for. If he auto attacks, if he lands on top of you with the ultimate, the first auto is usually a big passive crit, and it comes out instantaneously. And you can absolutely gimp people. You can absolutely just one shot people before they can even react with any kind of beads to your damage. So something that really Nemesis can't do. She can ult the front line, but there's triple front line to kind of counteract that.
Honestly, I would like to talk more on the jungler. I'd like to talk more out of Cal's Nemesis pick, but this Changa pick from Mike is just it's so confusing to me. I don't I honestly I really hope he's a very competent Changa because that's the only way I see him walking away from something and it being super consistent. But I don't know. I'm really honestly worried about that mid lane pick. It kind of feels just like the Nox pick last game. It feels like it has the potential, but it's all going to be on Mike's back if he can actually do it.
Yeah, and I think the real worry as well is he's not going to be able to make it into the backline at all. I mean, you can see you have the real issue of Cal can jump into the backline and try to ult the backline, but he'll get blown into pieces before he can do anything unless his mage is with him, and it's going to be really difficult for his mage to be anywhere near him.
Yeah, man, I don't know. If anything sticks out to me that gives Stellar the draft win again, it's these kind of one-off odd picks that Armadillo is running. And again, like I said, I'm not super familiar with a lot of their plays. Most of what I play is what we cast. So I don't know if I don't know, like I said, if Mike's a super competent Chunga and it's one of his best pocket picks. It's very well possible, but I don't know. I'm a little worried for him here. His positioning is going to be really key. If he is out of position at any point, it's going to be really big for Stellar just to come up and pop him.
Yeah,
And it's gonna sting.
and something else to note, he's going Bumba's Mask as well, which I think is a very, very bad pickup in the middle lane for a mage.
Absolutely.
You're not going to get any real value out of it. So like the reason why it really was started in EU, but the reason why the Bumbas into the ADCs been picked up is the fact that you can just tank buffs for your support. You can tank that red buff, but you can also kind of solo these buff camps around. Buckham actually getting chased here on the right side. Hold, I thought he might have to take his 2. He's going to be able to walk away with just taking a little bit of poke from Valve, but I mean, Cow's not going to be in middle lane for any kind of push.
And they're just putting this aggression out here.
Yeah, I mean, Puckham really, really getting focused, having forced to burn a lot of pots. I mean, Valve definitely is going to have the aggression early game, and Cow is looking here to put more with the jungle rotation, but you're going to get completely out pressured mid, and this speed buff is going to get invaded immediately.
Absolutely, and it kind of counteracts the point that your mid laner has Bumbas if your jungler's not going to start with your mid laner to get more value out of the Bumbas.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Bumbas actually gives you, I would actually say it probably gives you more, just to disagree just a little bit, it gives you more value when you're not doing it, but you're not doing buffs at all, because you don't have the clear to run into the jungle in time. So, I mean, because you're Changa, I mean, she definitely has really, really weak clear early. The speed's going to be, speed and blue are both taken, but it looks like they could probably come back and contest this blue with 3 members on the rotation. It looks like they're going to trade buffs just to get the fire Ellie's anyways, but Changa on her own just farming really, really slowly. This is a little bit of a questionable play by Cow.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, I like the idea because they did it last game to try and pressure Puckham and try and take
no, Muratori aggressive and Coco. He's going to get leaped on immediately. More damage. There's going to be the stun as well, and he's dead to rights. First blood going to the Hunter for Stellar Esports, and they make a cheeky little play. They get the clear in the left side. They get lane pressure and decide to rotate over to mid. Say, all the buffs are down on left side. We already did oracles. Let's just go get left mid camps.
Oh, man, and that's going to be rough. It's going to be tough for Mike.
Yeah, and Valve is just going to get ganked. He's on his own. It's Armadillo Armada are just blowing themselves, imploding here. I mean, they have to try to stem the bleeding and figure out what is going wrong, because it just seems like they're out of control here, which is not something we normally say about this team.
Absolutely, and again, it kind of comes to the thing where I don't, like I touched on, a little bit of aggression there in the dual lane, a lot of poke on Stellar.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a big rotation. If they don't get out, they could get caught here by the collapse. Cow doesn't have ultimate though. They're gonna land Coco. Is gonna roll away. It looks like aggressive is gonna be their target instead. Still no ult out of anybody. If aggressive can get the leap off, he'll be fine. They are gonna manage to do it. The rotation has been made by Jabberjaws, and actually it could be Cow that's the one punished. There's a nice double tap into Berserker's Barrage. Not enough damage though, but still failed rotation. Actually, Thor up in the air. Yeah, Thor up in the air. Could look for Mitchie. There's the beads on use it. He's going to land directly onto him. One more auto will do it. Nice shield for the time being. He needs to get out, but there's going to be the flop as well. Jabber last here with a cute little auto as Mike Retry tries to do something, but he's still level 3. Puckham has fallen to a solo kill in the right side. Unfortunately, aggressive. He is going to fall eventually. His team's trying to do as much as possible. Zombies made the rotation. They're looking at Soul at the moment. Bit of a split up damage though, as Muratori takes a lot of damage to the Soul ultimate. Geb Shield doing a lot of work in the team fight so far, but it looks like it's just going to be a 1-for-1 trade.
Oh man, it's just the only thing that's worse than a Thor is the Thor ahead, and I mean Jabber's already 2-0, and it's gonna be good. I'd like to see Jabber do the same thing he did last game, get himself some farm, get himself ahead, and just make these big rotations.
Yeah, Puckham, unfortunately, I think he just didn't hit 5 in time. Valve getting a slight bit more farm over him with that buff rotation into the jungle for the steal, and I think Puckham just unfortunately lost some of that farm and was not able to hit 5, and I think Valve just ulted him directly in the face, but Jabber just does whatever he wants right now at this point in the game.
Absolutely, and it's not like he's going to get out pressured with a Soul as his mid laner versus a Changa. Like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I think the big thing about solo is, and I mean, maybe I'm just crazy, but what I've seen, at least from my ranked games, is I've seen solo laners get 4 levels behind and just wait for 25 minutes in the game and just build full tank and not care.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what you can do as a solo laner.
Because it just seemed every time I lost a ranked game, oh, look, it's my solo lane feeding, and now it's just, in these last couple months, it's been, oh, look, it's my duo lane feeding.
Are you duo queuing with Thors?
No, not with Thors. My duo lane.
Oh, gotcha.
And
Okay.
just
I see. Because if you
generally,
queue
yeah.
with Thors, you're basically asking
Yeah,
to boost.
I haven't taken up that pity party yet, but sure at some point aggressive with double knockup Miratori using his immunity, but Soul is taking so much
That's a
damage. The
big proc.
Thorold on top, really good Chonga ulti, but Jabberjaw's gonna pick him up anyways. The Cernos ulti being trying to use to buy some time for his team, but not enough. Pick has already happened. His team looks to regroup. Is Stellar trying to find something? Zombie pushed up and take a little bit more poke out of Muratori, but any kind of leap can get up. Nice double tap is going to be immune, though. Jabber leaps in aggressive with the belly flop, trying to get some CC. Muratori really low. One more snipe will do it. Coco picks him up. Not going to get the second or third onto Cal, but it doesn't matter. The damage, once again, has been done as 2 picks are made for Stellar Esports. Take the lead 5-2. And wow, look at duo lane. There's a soul lane, excuse me. Woo! Puckham and Valve in the brawl of their lives. So very low as both, but it seems like Puckham's going to technically get the better of that one. He's going to be able to survive a bit longer with some more pots. Go ahead and take a bit more extra farm for himself. Boy, is this game crazy so far.
Oh yeah, honestly, this is kind of what I wanted to see Stellar do last game with the Wheelish once they started getting the picks, but it was definitely more even. But honestly, this could be really bad for Armadillo. Puckham in a weird spot.
Yeah, Puckham needs to get out. Valve just could ult him directly in the face, but I think Puckham can counter ult. He's going to be forced to back. Does have the teleport up, I believe. No, he doesn't, which would be bad. But Valve, oh no, is not going to catch him, actually.
He was so close.
F to pay respects for Valve. Not fast enough to get that kill, even with his passive. But either way, not going to matter. As Stellar Esports continuing to get the lead in the second game. One more game will do it for them. They're already up 1-0, and they can definitely run away with this one.
They definitely can, and it's, the only thing I will say is Armadillo has drafted a complete late game composition, and if they can get there, they have a chance. But it's going to be tough. If they can't get there, it's going to be tough for them.
The only thing is, I'm not quite convinced they're super late game. Rama has better late game. I mean, Geb has better late game than Bacchus, but Bacchus can still jump in your backline and blow somebody up as essentially as a second carry with his full kit if there's any kind of follow up.
I wouldn't say that their comp is a better late game comp, but they are definitely late game in the Chonga pick.
Yeah, I mean, Chonga, Nemesis, definitely something late game. Goal 3 has been started by Stella. Looks like they're trying to bait something. Aggressive, looking for some kind of rotation. Cow dashing away. No knockup for aggressive, not gonna land, but Soul, he's totally poked out. There's gonna be a Soul damage, so much coming out of the ultimate as Thor is in the sky looking for something. He's gonna land onto Soul, pick him off. 1 for O-Trade so far. Zombie's trying to get as much done as he can. Muratori immuning some of that damage, but Coco going in man moding. Huge Chonga ulti onto 3, but there's just no follow-up as Zombie is allowed to just sit and eat that in the back. Matt May trying to do as much as he can. Coco, he does fall up too much for aggressive. Aggressive is gonna fall as well. 2 for 1 trade so far in favor of Armadillo. They managed to turn this one around. Stellar's just playing really aggressive.
Yeah, weird. Again, it's kind of a weird call for that fight. They seemed like they wanted to take it a little more aggressive than they started to, but they ended up trading out. It wasn't a great trade. They got 1 for 2, but either way, it could definitely have been worse.
Yeah, I mean, no objective still taken. Oracles, Cow is gonna go ahead and take those for himself, but not really much anything for these teams to say, and the game is dead even as long as these objectives stay up. Both teams definitely have a shot to win this game.
Absolutely, and honestly, I will say this: comparing last game to this game, I already think Mike has done more with Chonga than he did with Nox.
Yeah, I mean,
he's had way more ults that have actually mattered.
He's definitely been able to do something. Something else to point out as well, so many wards coming out of Stellar once again. Lots and lots of vision. Armadillo, has a lot of vision on the map right now, but those are all just pretty recently placed, and there's a lot more warding coming out of Stellar that allows them to make these really aggressive plays with the Thor ultimates and the Rama snipes.
Good little grouping forming up here mid for Armadillo Armada.
Yeah, Jabber getting some... Jabber. Yeah, Jabber poking Muratori just as much as he takes from Cow's Slice and Dice. The game is pretty much stalled out at this point. Teams don't really have much to fight over as they're waiting for their buffs to spawn and people to go back to base and buy. But, I think the Chonga has managed to make it definitely out of the early game, but I'm really concerned. I mean, he's managed to get these ultis off, but they're never in a good position. They're always defensive. His team is never able to follow up on them, it seems.
Yeah, it seems just like you had kind of said, like you had touched on, the defensive ults really kind of matter, and I would like to see if Armadillo can even this game out a little bit more and start to find themselves a lead. I would like to see some aggression come out because you're really going to have to start doing something.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone was in position for that last ulti, Zombie was going to be dead to rights
Oh
if he
yeah,
didn't beat. But he was able to just sit there and eat a 3-second stun because there wasn't anything else to do. Muratori take half of his health onto a knock-up. There's immunity frames. I don't know how he's going to live. He is going to make it out aggressive under the tower, going to get double ulted, but he's going to trade himself out for the mid laner. Souls to back completely as Zombie blows him to the next century as he has to back to base. And once again, somehow Stellar come out positive after diving the tower there.
oh yeah, you can trade support for mid all day. Support has almost no value.
Yeah, Mitchie being forced out by Coco once again. They could go for this Gold Fury. Seems like with their
Thinking.
yeah, it looks like they're gonna start it up. Thor up in the air,
Ooh, no, they're
going
baiting.
to look for something.
They're
Yeah,
waiting for Jabber.
yeah, Jabber gonna look onto Mitchie. There's gonna be the ult popped as Jabber is looking for something more. He can get the wall onto Berserkers. Just the Berserkers alone. One more auto will do it. He's not actually able to find it. And Matt Mitchie with the beads off the wall is able to pick him up. Coco ran down like cow stuck in a tree, and now Armadillo and Armada are the ones with the power play after an amazing Cernunos beads.
Amazing beads out of Cernos, and then amazing play out of Valve on the backline. Valve just crushed them in the backline. Very well played out of the Osiris here.
Yeah, aggressive, trying to get something done. Osiris is going to be able to zone in pretty easily. I don't think he's going to be able to get in on this one. Armadillo Mata take the goal for your first objective of this entire set so far they've been able to pick up. And they're going to go and take a slight goal lead after just a couple of misplays. That Jabber just unfortunately, the wave was just there. It just feels bad, man.
It's a feels bad man has to pay respect. There's not he kind of baited himself. So I like the play out of him. I like the idea to take that play there, but man, it was tough for him.
But I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, it's some kind of adapting god level to know a creep wave is going to come right there. I mean, I don't think any real jungler is going to be able to know that. Like, oh, there's a creep wave coming, and my auto attack might get body blocked. Like it's really tough to say, but I think he was a little bit greedy. He could have just forced his beads and just walked away, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Pearl Demon being started.
Yeah, the rotation has been made. Muratory with the ulti, gonna catch two.
Huge
Aggressive taking so
might.
much, but Stellar's gonna secure it with Soul. As Jabber looked for something in the back line, he's gonna go up into the air, possibly onto Valve or Cal, but either way, Puckham is gonna go back in. Jabber is not gonna land onto anybody, taking a lot of poke, but Zombie is gonna kill Valve here. One more auto will do it. He will pick him up.
There's one. Oh.
And not able to finish off Castle Tree, but they are going to invade the speed. Coco playing really aggressive once again onto Mike, going to force him out completely.
There's no damage on
yeah, there's no more snipes. This T1 tower could definitely be burnt down here. And once again,
huge damage on Matt Mitchie.
Yeah, but I think they can just go ahead and go for this tower. They do have the double carry. Aggressive has teleported in.
Soul has the they can defend this if they wanted to. They're gonna more than likely give it up from the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, aggressive can definitely come in here. He does have belly flop and ultimate. If he catches Mitchie, that can be a dead hunter. I don't know if they want to make this play though, and it seems like with the 4-man rotation by Armadillo back out of the base, they're gonna go for it. Aggressive possibly could get caught here though.
I think he's all right. Yeah, I was gonna say not much is gonna come out of that. Jabber still had wall.
Yeah, he's just going to walk away. Valve once again with the top damage in the game, but 3 members of Stellar's trail him immediately after him. Nice little burst for a little bit of damage by Zombie, but Stellar eSports backline has to back away. Still a little bit too low, and the 5-man grouping from Armadillo and Mata is going to dissuade them from any more aggression, I think.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and stall this out. Soul really good at just clearing these waves from a safe range with her support and Soul Laner there. Able to do whatever she wants. No towers have yet to fall, but a couple are very precarious. Stellar Esports right side T1 is low, and of course the middle T1 as well for Armadillo and Mata is an easy picking for both these teams.
And I think it's much more noticeable this game. It feels like honestly that Valve has done a much better job than Puckham to making these rotations and being in these fights. A good chunk of these kills would not have fallen for Armadillo if Valve had not been there.
Yeah, Valve actually going to miss the Sunder onto Puckham, but there's the Thor ult immediately into the wall combo, and he just got completely baited. Puckham was sticking around there for a really good reason, and now he's made up a big 2-level advantage, turn it into 1. He's going to get some free farm here on this right side.
Looks like they're going to aggress mid and try and give him a chance. It looks like Puckham's going to try and poke that T1 out.
Yeah, aggressive just able to zone so much with the belly flop. good beads, but it beads into the, I believe it was beads, correctly? No, actually was not. But Coco is going to be soloed. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and pick him up. Too much aggression out of Coco, just overextending there. And unfortunately, Stellar doesn't have quite the lead they had last game, but still, dead even game.
Cal's making this rotation over here, trying to save this T1 from Puckham. He's gonna get him off of it, but
yeah, he's gonna get him off. But there's no way that Cal's gonna be able to deal with Puckham in any real way at this point in the game, unless he's gonna secure the ultimate. But the T1 middle has fallen. Stellar eSports just got to push. I'm getting stasis mode. Do you have that as well?
Yes.
We're gonna go ahead and pause. It just means like servers are just being a little bit weird. A lot of times you can pause and just wait a couple minutes out, and then we'll come out of stasis mode. We are using low spectators. So that does happen a little bit more often with low spectator delay. But looking at these builds, Jotun's picked up by Thor as first item instead of something like a Shifters or Hydras. What do you think about this one?
To me personally, with the with the Jotun's rush over the Shifters, I just think it kind of just solidifies to me that Jabber is just gonna want to keep playing aggressive.
Yeah, but Soul and Migratory made the rotation try to come and defend here. Zombie getting a little bit of poke, but he's gonna have to back off with this Apparate. And Stellar eSports just gets a free quarter of a tower.
Ooh.
Yeah, aggressive though. He's gonna get a lot, but he's gonna pop his ultimate, try to get out if he can. I don't know if there was a belly flop and try to get over the wall. He is gonna somehow secure it, and he does manage to get out for a little bit. Cal gonna burn his dashes as well. Gonna burn his beads. So much use for aggressive. They are gonna pick him up in the end, but now Puckham's made the rotation in. Thor with the ultimate, but I don't think this can be really taken too deeply. Heavenly has been popped, and they are gonna decide to land back on Valve. The snipes have landed onto him as well. He's gonna juke some of them, but they're still looking for him. There's a Nemesis onto Puckham. Valve and Muratori taking so incredibly low. Puckham, he's low as well. Mitchie trying to get something done. Gonna go ahead and dash into away. And looks like this team fight's gonna be just a wipe. 1 kill for Armadillo Armada, but they're still gonna lose that mid T1.
Oh, man, honestly, it felt very good out of Armadillo. I love the positioning they made in that fight. They were positioned super well to get the pick and then get themselves out. And honestly, it was just a complete wash. And I think that's a good fight that they needed to take to try and keep themselves in this.
But yeah, once again, Chunga not really able to do anything. I mean, he gets a good ulti off, gets some damage, but in the back is too close to some of her front line, and he gets double tapped along with Valve by Jabber. Did a really good job positioning that hammer and wall, and just forced to back off completely instead of being able to heal up and come back into the fight once healthy. And this T1 on the right is going to fall as Puckham just goes ahead and picks that one up. So taking a look at some of these support builds, what do you think about Jade Emperor's Crown picked up by Geb?
Oh, I love Jade Emperor's Crown. I love it
as first item?
Not as a first item. I like it in the build, but I don't think it's great dash.
Oh no, Mitchie's dead, right? There's a soul to just secure him.
As I say, he burned Supernova for it. He was already pretty much dead. He got Thorald and Supernova, so it gives their team a chance with less ults.
Yeah, Goldfree started, and I don't really know how this gets contested unless Stellar eSports make a misplay. There's Coco up in the air looking for snipes. Gonna use a cup one onto the Gold Fury. The reset's gonna be there off the Cataclysm. Now Mike Muratori actually getting double tapped into the knockup. He's blown to pieces as they're trying to completely run away, but the Gold Fury's just gonna get started once again, and there's no way Armadillo Armada contests that now.
Great bait out of Stellar. I loved that reset. It was very well done. They were extremely ready to fight there, and I'm glad they committed to it.
Yeah, and I really love the pickup of this Bacchus now that we kind of see it in hindsight. The knockup off that wall destroys destroys the immunity frames that you can pick up with that Chunga.
I was trying to take this T2, and he very well may. I think he's going to try and take it out.
Yeah, he is going to try to take it out, but the push on the left side, there's going to be a lot of objectives here as Portal Demon's being slowly done by Cow and Soul, but it's going to take them a while as both ADCs are going to look for some damage here on the left side. The wave's in, but it looks like they're going to just decide to back off and give it up. I think that's actually a trade in Stellar eSports' favor.
Absolutely.
They're just going to get a little bit more farm. The game essentially even once again as Valve ults in onto Puckham already. Going to get that passive off, but Puckham is just buying time, it seems, just wasting Valve's time. As long if he stays too long over here, he could get killed by any kind of rotation if Jabberjaw decides to make it once again. And there's Thorald up into the air, going to look for it. Not going to quite make it with the ult. Wall as well, not there. Puckham's so very low as Valve's going to look for him. Not quite going to find it. Now, Aggressive is the one that's going to be turned on. There's the Nemesis ult's going to pick him up. Unfortunately, Valve taken very, very low by Zombie. He's just trying to get a couple more autos. Going up in the air, Mike Muratori misses the ulti completely, but the Coco's gonna look for the snipe. Second one is gonna land. They're gonna pick him up. 1-for-1 trade. Soul Lander for support is gonna be in favor of Stellar.
And Stellar's just doing a really good job of, finding the opportunity trades that are worth their time.
Yeah, I will say though that Armadillo Armada this game is doing a much better job of using the map to their advantage, getting some other objectives, and not going for that 2-2 I think was a mistake on Stellar Esports.
I agree as well.
I think they had a whole creep wave. If the other made the rotation, you can dive under the tower. Aggressive, stanky enough. Puckham and Mitchie just throwing some abilities at each other, but Mitchie getting the better of him, but Zombies made the rotation. He's really, really fed. I would run for your life, dude.
There's the dash. Disapparate the chase. Oh, the Aegis is great.
Yeah, Mitchie's going to burn the Aegis, but that's just a free octave that's going to be made just by a free couple abilities used by Zombie, as they're just going to back off and go back to these waves.
And, it's one of those things that you can see Mike trying to make the turn in there to get something done, but Mike is level 12.
Yeah, I mean, Mike is once again 4 levels behind, and he's just really, really struggling to get anything done on these really just strange picks. I mean, just if you're worried about picking, just pick a Poseidon early. But once again, Muratori with the same combo. He is going to get his immunity frames off, but he's dead. He's got nowhere to go. Coco picks him up off the CC, and that's just another free pick. I mean, they can look for any kind of objective they want. It looks like they're going to go for this mid T2, and they have double ADC once again because they let Soul through.
And they're just going to have unadulterated objective control.
Yeah, Valve is going to make the TP in, but I don't know how much he can do. He's going to get taking so much damage. Bursted. He's very, very low. Geb Shield's going to be used with the backline's being done. Zombie, he's dead already. Huge Cataclysm onto 2 members is going to do a lot of work. As Jabber tries to dive the backline, Coco's dead as well. 2-for-0 trade so far for Armadillo Armada. It just seems like the backline wasn't peeled for enough as the 3 frontline are going to run for their lives. Jabber taking very, very low. One more auto will do it from Cal, but not enough. Actually aggressive, making a huge misplay, leaping down on top of himself. Cal going to pick him up. 3-for-0 trade. So Armadillo Armada turns it around. They're going to go for the Fire Giant.
And if I'm Armadillo, there's no reason not to at this point. Ooh, Cal should be a little careful.
Yeah, Puckham is going to try to buy some time, but he's quite low. He's going to pop this shield, but Puckham's just going to buy time. Looks like he's just going to distract. Sunder's going to miss once again. I don't know why you're going to pick that up if you can't freaking hit it. Gosh darn it, Val, but Puckham is eventually going to fall, but buying a good amount of time for Jabber. He's going to manage to come out of the base and get them all a little bit lower. They are going to go back onto it. But, yeah, but Jabber's got to be careful. He can get bursted much faster than Puckham can. Jabber trying to make a play, but he's going to have to cancel that Berserker's Barrage. Cal doing a lot of work in his backline. I think Jabber's going to die. They're going in 1 by 1, and I think this is just going to be a free Fire Giant picked up, unless Rama can get some crazy snipes on.
Exactly. I was going to say, it seemed like Jabber was aware that he wasn't really going to stop that, but I don't know.
Yes, Armadillo Armada does secure it. Cal trying to fight into Coco and Zombies. Coco staying incredibly low and jump up into the ultimate, try to buy some time. Aggressive has made it back out of base as Cal is going to run for his life. Mitchie trying to box out Zombie. Aegis used by the Soul. And it looks like that's just going to be a wash, but Armadillo Armada takes the Fire Giant, and they can turn this game completely around with that pickup.
Oh, absolutely. And you got to think at this point, this is the point where Nemesis is really starting to come online. She's got her Jotun, so she has some incredible damage. And looking at Cal is 9-0. Cal has yet to be picked in a fight, and that cannot happen at this point. With what Nemesis is, you really have to just burn her out.
Yeah, Cal has somehow not managed to fall, using beads a lot of these times to get out of the CC from Aggressive and Puckham, but either way, it looks like this is going to be a goal for you to at least get something off the map. They're going to go ahead and have to give up these T1s at the very least, if not these T2s. But something else to note, Soul's still 3 levels ahead, doing so much more work than Mike Muratori, and I think the real reason why Stellar Esports lost is that Zombie just got run down in the back that fight.
Absolutely, and I was going to mention it at that point, but they've done a much better job. Armadillo Armada has done a much better job of trying to shut Zombie down and trying to keep him out of fights. You don't even need to kill him. You just need to take his ult away from the team fight, and they've done a good job of zoning him away from this.
Yeah, they managed to try to keep him a little bit farther out, but in these couple of fights where he has managed to free cast, he's completely run them.
Oh, absolutely.
And these ultimates have just been absolutely nasty. Coco, though, could get caught and dove under the tower. He's going to be forced to beads out of Muratori's ultimate. Is going to get dove into on. He's dead before he can do anything. Good knock-up. So much damage coming out of these two players, but just not enough so far. Zombie, he's dead after just so much work. Double tap as well, but it's only onto Valve. Not enough. And that's unfortunately 3 members dead for Stellar. They just weren't grouped up.
And this is the point where Armadillo has the opportunity. The only thing Chang'e has of value at this point, other than her ult, is the fact that she is able to heal on top of this Fire Giant and extend these pushes. And
Yeah.
I think they're going to look for Phoenix here.
Yeah, they can definitely get this Phoenix and run this down. Unfortunately, Coco just wasn't in position. I mean, he was just super far out of position, got caught, didn't even preemptively beads the Chang'e ultimate. And that's just going to be a mid Phoenix, mid T2, and they're going to go to the left side and probably do the same thing. I mean, I don't know if they can get the Phoenix, but they're definitely getting those towers.
No, yeah, they're going to clean these down. They're going to go ahead and just take these towers off the map and get the extra gold and then just back and regroup. Get in position for the next fight and the next Fire Giant. They're just going to give up. They're just going to take T1 and walk away.
Yeah, but they do have a 5,000 gold lead, a lot in their pockets. They're going to go ahead and pick up, giving them a substantial lead over Stellar, but I don't think that Stellar's quite out of it yet. They definitely need to clean up their act. They've made a number of just kind of awkward plays. They haven't quite grouped up as effectively, and Coco at the very least needs to be back in position again.
Absolutely. My biggest concern from this game to from the first game to this game, comparing Stellar here, is Puckham has not been in. I would say he's been in fights per se, but he's at the point where he is not doing enough in the fights to really separate Armadillo Armada. They commit a lot to putting Mike down and keeping Mike down, but they haven't done anything to shut down Cal, and it's really starting to show in this progression because Valve and Cal are just kind of running this game for Armadillo.
Yeah, I'd like to see them to kind of trying to make a bit more of a structured front line, let the double 80 carry do their job, but I think it's actually really good at Puckham right now, distracting Cal stuck in a tree, and I would say to try to take this 1v1 because if you can keep Cal out of the fight, definitely an advantage as Cal is the biggest carry for Armadillo Armada right now.
Ooh. Matt needs to be a little careful there.
Yeah, it looks like Cal's just going to run at Puckham. I don't see any way in history he's ever going to be able to kill him without at least expending the ultimate. Double dashes onto him as well, but just not enough damage. They're not going to be able to pick him up. But Coco, he's going to get blown to pieces. Yeah, Valve is the one with the last hit there. Good wall to zone, but now Aggressive's going to get run down by Val. I don't know if he can get out of here anytime soon. There's a Cernus ultimate as Cal's going to look to dive in the back line. And he's going to die pretty soon. Actually, he's going to make it into the base, it seems, as they're all going to manage to somehow make it out. The left Phoenix has not actually fallen as Jabber looks into the air to try to make a play. He's going to land out to two. Muratori and Michi, both carries taking a lot of damage, but Jabber is going to get a lot returned on him. He's going to die pretty shortly if he doesn't make it out. He is somehow going to make it out. Puckham now on the dive. Muratori, they've made it to turn this fight around. Cowsong Tree running for his life along with Valve as Zombies back in this fight. Valve running away. He's going to try to juke for as long as he can, but I don't think he's going to make it out of this one. He's just a sacrificial lamb for his team. Taken out. Finally, one more auto will do it from either of these players. Zombie does pick him up, and they manage to stall out this Fire Giant push.
And a very good play out of Stellar. It seemed like Armadillo wanted to commit to those kills, but they didn't really secure them in the back line, and then they tried to switch to the Phoenix, but they had taken too much damage to commit to.
Yeah, I think the other thing to note that at least when it comes out of that team fight was all four members. I mean, the damage was split by Armadillo Armada. They really didn't target one main carry to at least put them down, and all four members made it back to the fountain. Jabber got up in the air, huge ultimate, somehow made it out after Aegising, and they were just able to turn it around with all full health bars. And this is the danger of diving into the Titan room.
Ooh. So if they're grouping up here, they definitely want to keep contest the vision here. I like to call out a Stellar. They know they won that team fight, and they're. I don't know if I agree with this positioning out of Puckham. It seemed like, even with aggressive beside you, you still want to be super careful.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is Coco's died early in both these fights. That he needs to stay farther back. He needs to stay safe. His Aegis is down, but his beads are up, and he needs to use this effectively, preemptively beadsing some of the CC. He can't afford to get caught again.
Absolutely.
And then the Fire Giant dance begins 27 minutes into this game, 21-15, and about 5,000, 6,000 gold lead for Armadillo Armada, but we're getting pretty late in this game, and gold's mattering less and less, so they do have something to work with right now. Aggressive, gonna go in and check face check this portal, but
they're looking at Valve.
yeah, Valve taking a lot of damage. Portal Demon at half health, getting run down. But Aggressive's going to leap in, getting as much damage as he can. Jabberjaw's with the ultimate, but 3-man by Muratori getting the backline as well. He's going to land in onto 2 members off top of the Soul ult. Cataclysm does a lot of work too, though. His Valve is going to be junked down by both these AD carries. He's going to be the first to fall in this team fight. The game should keep him alive for a little bit longer, but not too much. But a huge ultimate out of Cernados. It's all 5 members, and now on the run is Stellar as they're trying to get out of dodge. Good wall and double tap is going to get them out of the danger here, but middle Phoenix could fall as they're going to decide to rotate into it. Jabber is going to be able to get out of it, it seems, but he was looking for some kind of cheeky play, but he needs to leave. Beads actually by Mitchie's going to get popped, so I'd say it's probably worth at least for sticking around.
Absolutely. He did his best to try and stop the basics with the Aegis. A very cheeky play out of Jabber with the hammer back to...
Yeah, but they could actually go for this Fire Giant if Armadillo Armada is not paying very much attention. They made a Portal Demon. Looks like they're back, and Cow's the only one headed in any way towards it, but Soul's actually going to decide to stop his back, but there's only 2 members here, and they can get really, really turned on. Cow's going to beads immediately and try to run down in the backline, but he's getting blown up by Zombie. He's going to burn the ult on Aggressive as well as his heal with the Bracer. Teleport in by Puckham is going to come through, but the Fire Giant's still standing. Jabberjaw's popped into the air, is going to look for some kind of play or just control over the Fire Giant. Going to land onto Soul as they could decide onto him, but someone needs to get this Fire Giant. It's still very much a Stellar is going to pick it up. Aggressive, very, very low, trying to get out. He's going to be able to jump over the wall, but I don't know how much longer he's going to survive. Cow going to try to go ahead and run him down, but they've managed to make the rotation out. Puckham, he's going to run away in the opposite direction, buy some time for his carries. Aggressive is the only one it seems that's going to fall right now.
And then Aggressive's going to do the best he can to buy as much possible time from them.
Yeah, and the leap over the wall. He's still alive. He's buying so much time. If he can give the kill over the Soul, that would be big as well. He's somehow alive. Cow's going to manage to pick him up. But a Fire Giant for a support that took forever to die, I'll take that any day of the week.
Absolutely. If I'm Stellar right now, I'm 100% okay with that trade.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. He's playing very, very well, is Aggressive. I mean, he's 0-9, but he just bought so much time. That's nonsense.
Absolutely. And again, it just kind of shows through that he's doing exactly what his team needed him to do, and that's to peel as much as he can and to waste as much possible time out of Armadillo.
Yeah, but I would like to see some kind of play by Stellar once Aggressive comes out. They're just going to take some of these buff, but I mean, and it looks like the goal free might be started. I know just the Oracles here. It looks like they're trying to contest these. And actually, no, they're just going to actually trade him with a nice little auto. But, I mean, they might need to get the gold here, but I think they definitely still have a way to possibly either contest this or just go for more objectives. Cow getting hit by Stellar Burst, not taking too much damage. Puckham managing to zone them out of this, and it's going to be leashed.
Jabber just off the mark there.
Yeah, but they can still definitely play aggressive. They have Fire Giant. They're going to force Armadillo to back off and respect that. Puckham being able to zone. They're going to pick up the gold free, and looks like they're going to rotate into the middle lane. Valve is going to get hit by the wall, but not the double tap. Jabber just a little bit off. A little bit of the yips there, but they should be able to at least get a couple T2s out of this one, if not win a fight.
Absolutely, but if I'm Armadillo, I'm still taking these fights. With how much damage Cow is doing, I'm still taking these fights through and through. Yeah,
you have to just be a little bit careful of going too deep into the backline. Coco standing for forward. They're going to be able to pick up this tower. Muratori is going to get the immunity off onto Aggressive as Nemesis is going to try to run down the support in the backline. Cataclysm hits 3 members as well. As Val picks him up. Thor's not going to land onto anybody, but Muratori's forced to Aegis very, very low in the backline. Coco's fallen as well as Stellar's been completely routed. Zombie running for his life against Valve. Puckham over the wall with the ulti trying to buy some time, but it looks like it might be a little bit too late. Disapparate's going to buy even more time for a Zombie, but Valve is just not stopping that tunnel. He's going in. A couple more autos will do it. Nice Stellar Burst is going to land onto 3 as Puckham is continuing to just take damage. He is going to die, but Jabber and Zombie will live, but this Phoenix is probably going to fall.
Yeah, this is probably just game.
Yeah, they could just go ahead and end, and this is just Coco being caught off on the right side and their team not being in a position to take this fight. Valve taking up so much damage, not able to do enough, and the healing out of Chonga actually has been quite influential in these fights.
Absolutely.
Soul doing as much as she can. Soul is going to die, the other part of that name, but it looks like Armadillo Armada is going to take us to a game 3, 28-17, and what a wild ride that one was.
immensely better out of Armadillo Armada. Again, it's not the mid lane pick we needed, but obviously they had an idea when they picked the Chunga. They knew for a fact that Mike was going to get tunneled, and Mike got tunneled for the first 10 minutes of this game. But the meanwhile, Cal just was able to do whatever he wanted in the back line, and honestly, it was very well played out of Armadillo. Much better than the game one that they put up against him.
Yeah, and
I'm really excited to see the game.
And the combo that we praised earlier from aggressive with Jabber worked out in the early, but late game he just got exploded by Cal.
Yep.
And he just wasn't able to do enough. Mike Mortori did get some really big CC ultimates, but I have to say Cal just took his team on his back. Zombie not able to do enough, doing almost 40,000 damage, but not able to secure it. As we're going to go ahead and go into a game 3, take a quick pause, 3-minute break or so, and we'll be right back with game 3 of the PSL Weekly Tournament Finals.